This week on Inside Boulder News, the city releases key findings about the possible creation of a municipal electric utility, Congressman Jared Polis announces a new GMO labeling bill, and council discusses a shift in alcohol enforcement strategy.
Welcome to Inside Boulder, featuring topics and stories that impact the community of Boulder, with Patrick Von Kaiserling and Jennifer Bray. And on the news set, Natalie Wood brings you the stories making headlines this week. Inside Boulder News starts now.
Welcome to Inside Boulder News. I'm Natalie Wood. City officials this week released a detailed report analyzing several ways the community might accomplish its energy future goals. The report looked at 6 options, which included staying with Xcel Energy, as well as 5 possible forms that a municipal electric utility might take. Teams of city staff, expert consultants, and more than 50 community members worked together to analyze the cost and environmental impact each option would have over 20 years. Inside Boulder News spoke with Executive Director Heather Bailey about the key findings.
We modeled 6 options, one of them being the Xcel baseline. And so there are 3 options that can meet the goal of rate parity. 2 of them we modeled because we wanted to see the impact of what if we were as aggressive as we could be in achieving greenhouse gas reductions and increasing renewables. Those 2, the costs were in excess of what it would be if we had rate parity. However, there are 3 other ones that showed that the city could maintain rate parity with Xcel over the long term. It really was a great community effort, and they worked long and hard and vetted our assumptions, helped us develop the options, gave us hard feedback. So I'm really, really proud of Boulder and the fact that we had so much community commitment, and I just want to thank all of those people.
City Council will receive a presentation and ask questions about the report on February 26th. Council is scheduled to receive input during a public hearing on April 16th. After the hearing, the city's elected officials will make a decision about whether to proceed with the next steps necessary to pursue municipalization. There are several opportunities between now and then for the public to provide feedback. Visit boulderenergyfuture.com for more details.
The freedom for consumers to make well-informed decisions for themselves and their families based on transparency is a fundamental American value.
It's an initiative Boulder health food stores have supported for years. And on Wednesday, U.S. Representative Jared Polis announced the introduction of a federal bill that requires food containing genetically modified organisms to be clearly identified. Polis held a news conference at Alfalfa's announcing the GMO labeling bill.
The bill we're working at introducing nationally, along with Pete DeFazio and Barbara Boxer, would require labeling of GMO products. Consumers want this information. Over 94% of Americans in a recent Washington Post poll. It's up to people what to do with this information, but just as we have ingredients listed, just as we have nutritional content listed, people want to know if the food is genetically engineered.
Alfalfa's has been supportive of no GMOs since the inception of GMOs. The only way that we are able to verify that today is by selling organic products. So, we really feature a lot of certified organic products in our store. We're doing that to try to be able to respond to the Boulder community, which is highly activated on this issue. But we would like to be able to do that with all of our products.
The new bill states consumers have a right to know whether the food they purchase contains or was produced with GMOs. It also defines GMOs and provides civil penalties for violations. Liquor license holders in Boulder can expect more coordinated enforcement of local regulations in the near future. City staff told Council on Tuesday night that a more coordinated approach using existing tools would enable Boulder to be more effective in enforcing laws related to alcohol consumption. The staff recommended several changes. These include forming joint inspection teams of police, fire, and building code officers, and adopting a strategy that devotes more time to problem establishments. There was also discussion about a new hearing model that would allow a municipal judge or a licensed attorney to hear evidence and rule on alleged liquor violations and determine suspensions and revocations. Council rejected a staff proposal to charge fees for the hosts of parties that require police or medical response, stating that partygoers might not request assistance for legitimate emergencies. Council indicated they want to put more money into enforcement in next year's budget and directed staff to provide additional information on proposals related to late-night business licenses and potential code or zoning changes, as well as information about how the city would measure the success of the proposed changes. You can watch the complete February 19th council meeting at boulderchannel8.com. The Pearl Street Mall is no longer the only area in Boulder with an outdoor smoking ban. CU Chancellor Phil DeStefano signed the University of Colorado's no smoking policy Wednesday, making the school the second in the Pac-12 with the ban, following the University of Oregon.
This is something that has been considered for up to 10 years and very seriously for the last 4, really looking at the health benefits of not being around smoke. And that's not only for the smokers themselves, even a little bit of exposure to secondhand smoke has short-term and long-term effects. This is really a period of awareness of both the policy and the resources available to stop smoking. In August, when the ban goes into effect, there won't be ticketing. It's more of a community enforcement model where you will be asked to quit smoking if someone sees you. But also, as any other policy, it is a violation of a campus policy, so it could be a violation of the code of conduct. An employer could talk to the employee about it. So the community is asked to respect the policy just like they are any other campus policy.
The measure officially goes into effect on August 19th. There are now more than 1,100 college campuses across the country that are smoke-free.
226 for arrival.
Last week, Inside Boulder News rode along with police officers who are part of a new unit that is focusing on proactive involvement and enforcement in Central Boulder. The Neighborhood Impact Team works to meet the community's needs in high-density areas like the Pearl Street Mall and University Hill. The team also works closely with CU Police to address issues on campus and on the Hill. Here's a look at how the police departments work together to respond effectively.
You guys are going to be totally safe. No alcohol tonight?
Not only do we address problems directly on campus, but we're also able to address problems off campus. We work really closely with Sergeant Byfield and his Neighborhood Impact Team. And part of that goes just in the nature of what we do, covering each other on calls, and we do that quite a bit. But there's a lot of spillover from the university onto the Hill.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, how you doing today?
Pretty good. You coming back from the slopes?
Oh, no, we were sledding.
Oh, how was the snow?
It was pretty awesome.
Is it getting better?
Yeah.
We understand that our students are going to impact our community, both positively and sometimes in negative ways. And we want to be there to help address some of those issues as a university. That all starts on campus. A lot of our students come on their first year as freshmen and sophomores, and they're living in the dorms. It may be the first time that they deal with law enforcement. And so we try and set the tone right off the bat here by making sure that the contacts are positive, but that we are looking for strict enforcement. And we like to think that the students that we're talking to and dealing with this year are the Hill residents next year. And so education is a huge part of that. How to live within your community.
Is that your car?
How to be civic-minded. So education plays a huge role along with the traditional enforcement side.
Oh, I understand.
Deliveries and stuff.
I understand.
If you'd like to contact an officer on the Neighborhood Impact Team, call dispatch at 303-441-3333. Thanks for watching Inside Boulder News. Stay in touch with us on Facebook by submitting news tips and questions, or send a Sign Me Up message to mycitynews@bouldercolorado.gov to receive video updates like this newscast in your inbox.